If you are looking for a used car, where would you go?
Cazoo, yeah, you can.
Why?
Because of Premiership football, their marketing that they've done to the community base is superb.
Yeah, that will be the answer of most people in Britain these days. Cazoo and Cinch have been doing really well with their sponsorships. If I had asked the same question a few years ago, you might have said Auto Trader or local garages. But these two players have changed how we perceive used cars. Kazoo and Cinch seem to have come out of nowhere. They have superb strategies. They do similar things, i.e., they are selling used cars. But what they are doing is not groundbreaking. It has also been done in the past few years by Vitality.
A few years ago, wherever you looked, Vitality's pink was everywhere. You could be at cricket, football, rugby, wherever you were, Vitality were there too. The journey for Vitality, their rebrand started in 2014, replacing Pugh Health. Before that, the popularity of the brand wasn't quite there because it was not refreshing.
Didn't we do something similar with our branding of Axies Digital?
Yeah, we actually started off as Marketing Voice. I think it was 2017 June, and it was a project we wasn't too sure which direction it was going to go. And when we knew what our values were, that's where we rebranded into Axies Digital. Vitality started its sponsorship and ambassador program in 2013. Unfortunately, it didn't quite take off and make the impact that they were looking for. Jessica Annis Hill, Johnny Wilkinson, and Lord Seb became Vitality's ambassadors, and branding was placed pitside at the Ashes in England. We have seen and learnt that Vitality's strategy of bringing individuals in as ambassadors didn't quite work, but what followed did. However, at this point, we must note that not all was failed because they had learning and they had data. They had built a community and the road work going into sport, which is what followed for them over the years. First, a sports sponsorship strategy that included becoming the sponsors of England Netball, AFC Bournemouth, ECB's T20 cricket, and the ICC Cricket World Cup on Sky Sports. Second, a huge print, digital and outdoor media campaign introducing the new brand and mascot Stanley, the sausage dog, which we still see today in their advertisement. The interesting thing is, Vitality didn't just rely on sports and events, and they certainly did not just throw a load of money at marketing agencies hoping a miracle would come. As expected, the return on investment was weak.
Yeah, to be fair, most people, when they go to a sports, any sports, they are there for the game, not to see the ads.
Yeah, and at least they learn about the brands indirectly. The fact is, if your favorite team or athlete sponsors and endorses a product, you're going to want to feel like them, and what do you do to have an experience of that? Is you buy the product. Now that Vitality have achieved their goals, they no longer need to spend as much on marketing, endorsing products, sports, and events. And as we introduce Stanley the sausage dog, we see Vitality are still pushing from that angle. At this point, I'll bring in an analogy, and that is, it's like driving a car at the start. You will need to put in more gas, but once you've got the momentum, you can take your foot off from the gas. Let's be honest, insurance is boring, and Vitality have been able to make it a lot more fun.
That's the backstory. Now we move to the present day. In marketing, creativity is impressive. However, this does not mean that you have to reinvent the wheel every time. Vitality did amazingly with sports sponsorship. Cinch and Kazoo are now taking that strategy, implementing it slightly better, to be fair. The reality in business is some things are just more marketable. Life insurance, as we were saying, is boring and you can make it sexy, but there are limits to it. Kazoo and Cinch have a bit more to play with. Same can be said about people. Some people are just more marketable than others. We had a recent example with the US Open in tennis when Emma Raducanu won. If you went on LinkedIn, you kept seeing Emma everywhere. No one was talking about Medvedev beating Djokovic. Djokovic was about to win all Grand Slams in a single year, and only Rod Laver has done it before. That would have been an amazing achievement from a sports perspective, but Emma, because she's British, because there's a story behind, because people who are not even interested in tennis started talking about her. She's just more marketable in the current market. It's no different with a brand awareness strategy. You want to be heard, you want to be seen, but you want to be smart with how are you going to do it. You need to make sure that you reach that optimum reach and you reach that optimum viewership. And if you have seen another brand doing well with a sports strategy like you are going to do, why not take notes?
Yeah, so Cazoo and Cinch have been taking notes.
Exactly. I'm going to go one step forward and call Cinch and Cazoo the vitality of 2021. They are taking sports sponsorship strategy and they are running with it. And so far, they are going toe to toe. Cazoo got the jump start in September 2020 with their TV spot. Cinch replied in October with Ryland Clark Neal. The celebrity aspect and the fact that they are spending a bit more money on media is the reason why Cinch is doing slightly better, but that's just the first innings.
Yeah, let's bring back the cricket analogies.
Yeah, to be fair, we mentioned T20 and the Ashes, so why not? If media was the first innings, let's move to the second innings, and that's the sports sponsorship. This has been a way to become comfortable with your brand. So here we go. Cinch currently has the following sponsorships: Tottenham Hotspurs, sleeve partner, Northampton Saints, ECB, and the Queen's Club. Cazoo, on the other hand, is sponsoring the Jockey Club, Arena Racing Company, Aston Villa FC, Everton FC, EFL, Rugby League World Cup, Wales Rugby Union, the 100 cricket competition, and the World Snooker Tour. You look at these two lists and there is certainly some crossover. They are both present in cricket, they are both present in football, and they are both going at rugby. But even with a glance, you can see that Cinch is going further into sports. If you are looking at it from a purely UK mass market perspective, Cazoo is doing slightly better because they are sponsoring two football teams. But on the other hand, Cinch is sponsoring Tottenham Hotspurs, which is arguably bigger than the other two clubs combined. Then Cinch owns the tennis battleground with their sponsorship of the Queen's Club. But Cazoo owns horse racing, rugby union, and snooker. So, what have we learned and where are these brands going?
Yeah, sports sponsorship is a fantastic way to reach numbers very quickly. They generate recognition for your name, and if you're new, that's exactly what you want. The pioneers of this strategy was Vitality. They saw a massive uplift on their reach to their community, and they proved it's a fantastic strategy. Cinch and Cazoo are now adopting the same strategy, pretty much sponsor anything with a fan base. And with the help of paid media and other marketing strategies, they are making way.
This rivalry between Cinch and Cazoo is amazing. It's end to end and it's putting money in sports that we love. And as marketing professionals, we are enjoying the battle from a different angle as well. In all fairness, there is still room for improvement for Cinch and Cazoo. The biggest name in the market, Auto Trader, is still getting 11 million searches a month. It will be interesting to see now how Auto Trader replies back. Otherwise, these two new players are coming for it.
Hi, I'm Harmeet Singh.
And I'm Taseer, Ahmad. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.